All right, it's noon on the dot. I know people are still joining, but we're going to get this show started on time so we can end on time. I first want to start out by thanking our friends at Parking Boss and Amenity Boss. They are huge supporters of the association. And Zach is here as our session sponsor to welcome you today. Take it away, Zach.
Thank you so much. Well, first I'd like to thank WUMFA for hosting this event very much. This particular session, I'm especially excited for. And so as long as we're talking about high tech and high touch experiences, I would like to introduce you quickly to two software products that would bring a lot of value to your communities. So here's what you're up against. We learned at the Apartment Outlook this month that parking issues are up 48% through COVID and unauthorized occupants are up 70%. And so when you completely control your parking with smart software, those issues and a lot of other issues take quite a dive. And so Parking Boss is the most trusted system for identifying every vehicle, managing your parking inventory, and if you want to set up some additional revenue streams, that's an option too. Some communities are making around $1,000 a month on that, but it's not a requirement for using Parking Boss. Our other software, Amenity Boss, is the highest rated software for amenity reservations and putting limits on even per apartment usage to keep things like the pool and the fitness center truly fair, and limiting capacity and keeping a pass log for contact tracing if you ever have to do such a thing. And so we're giving away 3 prizes this week. So you can fill out a contact form at our virtual booth and be entered to win a $50 gift card. There are 2 of those. And if you arrange a demo, you're entered to win a $100 gift card. And I'll even do one better. So for everybody here on this session, after the session is over, the 3rd person that engages us in our chat box wins a $25 Starbucks gift card. So good luck. And thank you again so much. I think now I'll pass it over to Sheila.
Thank you, Zach. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We are here to talk about high tech and high touch. What are your leasing strategies and how can you utilize the tools that are out there? So I do encourage you, I'm going to be running your Q&A session. So please use the box below that says Q&A and type in your questions and I'll be answering those as we go along. There might be some that I can answer at the end live as well, but I will be answering these as we move through this presentation for you. So please be sure to ask your questions as we go. Additionally, I also want to remind everyone, please visit our virtual booth and sign up for that. We do also have a $50 gift card raffle that we are doing with this session as well. So I hope you all enjoy the session and I look forward to your questions.
Hello, everyone out there in virtual land. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Paul Yount, multifamily industry principal here at Yardi Systems. I hope you're all safe and well. I want to start by thanking all the Yardi clients in attendance. We truly value and appreciate your business. If you're not a Yardi client today, if and when appropriate, we'd love the opportunity to talk with you. Okay, so today we're going to talk through high tech versus high touch. Does it have to be either, or can it be both? There's been this idea in our industry that leveraging technology, whether it be online leasing, package lockers, marketing automation, or whatever, could have a negative impact on our customer service and the ability to have meaningful interactions with our residents. We view our industry as a very people-oriented, high-touch industry, and rightfully so, but sometimes we seem to think that things that eliminate the need for an in-person interaction are bad. The reality is your high-tech strategy should augment and complement your high-touch strategy and actually help you deliver on and execute being high-touch much better. You need to be high-tech and high-touch. High-touch doesn't mean in-person. It really just means personalized, meaningful, relevant and helpful, or present and available. High-tech doesn't always mean cold, automated, impersonal, or robotic. If you're not high-tech enough, then you're missing out on opportunities to showcase your high-touch customer service. Your properties aren't always open, your team members aren't always free, and many times your customers would rather not have to interact with them anyway for what they're trying to accomplish. You need to be thinking about both of these concepts at the same time in order to truly leverage and maximize your tech and to deliver on your customer service goals and the evolving expectations of your customers. Being high-tech and high touch is how you truly succeed today more than ever and also going forward. Now, what used to happen was this ping-ponging between online and in-person. A prospect would do some research online, maybe have some back and forth emails. They need an agent to help them schedule their tour. Then they'd come visit the property, meet with the staff, tour an apartment. Then they'd leave, and maybe later they'd start the application process online, but want to come back and tour the apartment again. And they'd have to come back to the office to sign their lease or get their keys on move-in day, so on. The shift away from this high frequency of online, offline interactions was already happening, where this was becoming less and less the norm, especially with the emergence of online video content, self-navigating videos, online tours. With the technology that's available today and today's consumer expectation, your customers may not only prefer to do many things without the help of your team members, but they may not need to. This means you can operate your business more hours of the day and put your people to different yet still high value tasks. I really love this cartoon. Let's quickly read it. Digital transformation is years away. I don't see our company having to change anytime soon. And then of course, here comes COVID-19. A good example of this transformation is the touring and leasing process. The apartment tour and definition of it has dramatically changed. Unlike before, touring may be happening without your agent in person with the prospect, without an agent-led tour at all, or with some sort of video or virtual tour led by one of your agents. The online experience overnight became the #1 priority to everyone. Physical curb appeal is always important, but your digital curb appeal is more important. If your digital curb appeal isn't good and you're not offering a robust, feature-rich online experience, then you'll never even get the chance for them to see your physical curb appeal. Online everything isn't just online availability, online applications, and online payments either. So as we at Yardi meet with our clients, we're hearing similar challenges and goals across the industry. When our clients tell us what they're focused on, these really 4 key areas always tend to bubble up. I believe these are all interrelated. There are more renters by choice today, and they're renting longer into life, but renters have higher expectations today. A great customer experience increases and maximizes revenue for new and existing residents by making it easy to do business with you and building value in doing business with you. Today's renters want more and more online and self-service options, things like online leasing, of course, but also online tour scheduling, self-guided tours. Technology that enables self-service options also benefits you by creating efficiencies on your end and reducing expenses because of the scalability and lower level of human effort. All right, let's get into this customer experience topic a bit more, and let's talk about what makes a really quality customer experience. So I know I can't see everybody, but go ahead and raise your hand. Who remembers the movie What Women Want with Mel Gibson? Came out about 20 years ago, hard to believe. Well, in that movie, Mel Gibson fell in the bathroom and bumped his head on the bathtub, and when he came to, he could hear women's thoughts. Just last year, a movie called What Men Want came out. Same idea, just opposite sexes this time, right? Well, what if we knew what renters wanted? What if we could get inside the minds of the renter, of the apartment shopper, and really know what they were thinking, what they wanted? Well, guess what? We can. NMHC and Kingsley get together every couple of years and put together this renter preference survey. Many of your organizations probably contributed towards it. 373,000 renters responded to the survey this go around. So we know what renters want, and we're actually going to unpack this as we go through the presentation. Let's talk about the customer experience in our industry looking at this renter journey. So here we can see sort of a timeline of what this looks like. Quality search strategy is how you get found, right? Showing up in search results pages with quality search engine optimization, pay-per-click advertising is how consumers gain awareness of and find out about your brand when they're looking for what you offer. Then, of course, you hope they land on your website, and that's where they're going to be learning about your brand, getting more details on what you offer. Then, of course, you hope they become a lead in the funnel, right? They become a prospective resident, and that's when they're interacting with your brand. And ultimately, of course, you hope they become a resident, and that's when they're experiencing your brand. What is that like? What is it like to do business with you? The reality is, though, anywhere along that continuum, there could be an opportunity, and you could not be available, whether it's after hours or it's during the day and you're busy, or somebody simply didn't respond to an inbound lead. Whether that's a brand new first-time lead, somebody very early on in that customer journey, or it's somebody that's a resident, it's a service opportunity that may be missed. So let's start with talking about that website experience. Okay, so they found out about our business, they clicked in. What is it like when they're on our website? What type of services do we offer? Well, referencing that NMHC Kingsley Renter Preference Survey, they had a question on there and it said, would you use the following website features during your next apartment search? 90% said they wanted to see unit selection, so actually showing me what's available. 87% wanted to see resident feedback, ratings and reviews, right? Not having to go to Yelp, not having to go to apartment ratings, but on your property website. 87% wanted to see unit location mapped. Real estate's location, not just for home sales, but also for apartments. Where do the available apartments sit on the community? 81% wanted to see the map of surrounding neighborhood. So don't just show me where the property sits on a map, but where's the nearest coffee shop, park, bar, whatever the case. 81% wanted to see videos of apartment models and amenities. 80% wanted to make an appointment or see an online calendar to schedule a tour. So I want you to be thinking about these and make sure that you're offering these because, again, this is what renters want. Let's go see a couple examples of this. So looking here at this side, I want to point out a couple things. Notice these strong calls to action. There's a floor plan assistant. How can I help you? Text, chat, right? They have ratings and reviews right on the website. I'm interested in living in this community. What is it like to live there? I just moved to Dallas. Once Cindy showed me around the Case building, she fell in love, right? Let's go to their neighborhood page here. On the neighborhood page, I can see not only where the property sits, but maybe I want to see where nearby restaurants are. Maybe I want to see some local entertainment. I can click into these to learn about these different businesses. Where the property sits is very important. What's around it? What can I get to? Oh, LeBlanc, this is one of my favorites. This is where I make my Friends joke, right? Wasn't it Matt LeBlanc was Joey from Friends? So there's actually an apartment community called LeBlanc. So let's look at this one quickly. Looking at LeBlanc, again, more strong calls to action. I can schedule a tour, I can text, I can call, I can email right from here. But let's go look at the amenity page. It's not just spelling out the amenities, it's actually showing me photos of them. Show me what those free weights look like. Ooh, fancy gym. State-of-the-art fitness center, right? Package concierge, show me the pool. Don't just tell me about the amenities, show it to me right here. I can schedule my tour right here from the website. When do I want to come out? Maybe I want to come out on Halloween. Maybe I want to come out on Tuesday. What time do I want to come out? I can now fill out this form and I'm actually scheduling my tour. Here's my name. Here's the day I want to come out and tour. Here's the time I want to come out and tour. Here's how I want you to contact me. We talked about videos. Look at these virtual walkthroughs right on here. And actually jump into and navigate around this apartment community. This unit, I should say. I can click into the space, really see what it's like here. I want to show you a few more here. Remember, we know what the customers want. Let's give it to them. Check out this virtual tour page. It's got a 3D and a 2D and a virtual walkthrough of every single floor plan. Of course, the Apply Now button is there too. But again, we can actually walk through these apartments virtually. I'm going to come out here to the floor plans page. When I'm looking at the floor plans, we can see some of these have the video right on here too. If I go into view details, so show me a little more about this Trade Winds floor plan, I can play the floor plan video. I can take a virtual tour. So this has both. I can do that self-navigating walkthrough, or I can watch the floor plan video. I, of course, can see what's available. There's, again, those amenity photos on here. Any specifics about the apartment homes that are available. Show you another example here. This site has videos in English and in Spanish. So as I'm learning about these floor plans, I can not only see the image, but I can also see a video, English and Spanish. If I go into availability, watch what I can see. Show me a photo of the actual unit itself. 17305 really means nothing to me, right? It's just a number. But if I can associate an image with that unit number, now we're adding real value. What amenities does this unit have? Why would I maybe pick this one over another unit? View location. Where does it actually sit on the property? So here we can see the pin showing the exact location of that unit. Where is it in relation to the clubhouse, the pool, the dog park, the entrance, right? Want to come over here now to this Stratus Seattle site. So same sort of thing, right? Strong calls to action. Let's go check out the floor plans right here from the home page. I'm going to go check out the A10. View location. So this is showing me exactly where this unit sits on the property. It's on the 40th floor. Here's where it sits. We can even see direction, what direction we're facing, I should say. I can go up a floor. I can go down a floor. I can go see floor dissections, show me what's available by floor, look at the building. So what a great customer experience to be able to do all this, not have to call, not have to email, self-service. I can do all this on my own right on the website. Pre-qualifying myself. All right, so let's quickly take a tour of apartment tours. So this has really changed over the last handful of months, right? Well, heck, not handful, 7, 8, 9, whatever number of months we are into this. So there's several different types of apartment tours now. So in-person tours, there's the traditional jump, smile, greet tour that I call it, right? A prospect walks in the door, I get my butt out of my seat, I put my smile on, I stick my hand out, and I greet that prospect for their tour. Self-guided tours, so actual in-person physical tours that just don't have an agent. Then there's multiple flavors of these remote or virtual tours, which to me fall into really 3 different buckets. There's like a press play tour, which is really just watching of static video. There's walkthrough tours. We talked about both of these earlier, I guess, right? The video tour and the walkthrough, the kind of self-navigating, let me guide my way through the apartment myself or the amenity space, whatever it is. And then there's live virtual tours. So an agent-led video tour, not much different than FaceTime or a Zoom meeting, something like that, right? So we know from the same NMHC renter preference survey that came out, the 2020 survey, 80% of renters would use self-scheduling in their next apartment search. And we showed some of that earlier on those live sites, what it looks like to schedule a tour. We have some clients seeing as many as 1/3 of these self-made appointments turn into rent-paying residents. So very high conversion there. And this technology has been out for a while, right? It's almost like Open Table, except I'm not scheduling, making a dinner reservation. I'm saying I want to come out and view this property and an apartment on this day at this time, sending reminders about the appointment, whether it's an email or a text, but that online scheduling piece. So again, that same survey, what renters want, we know. How would you prefer to tour an apartment community in your next apartment search? Well, this data was collected back in 2019, but even then, 31% said self-guided or they didn't have a preference. So this idea of apartment shoppers want an agent there with them all the time just really isn't true. It wasn't true pre-COVID. Looking at the data now, so rentcafe.com has done some surveys with actual apartment shoppers on the ILS and asking them, hey, would you take a self-guided tour if available? 83% said yes. So 83% would now take a self-guided tour. So these were a thing before the pandemic. They're, of course, a thing during COVID, and it's going to be evergreen. The technology's there, the consumer demand is there, and there's benefits to our industry as well, right, to you guys as operators and community managers. What was interesting is the follow-up question to those 83% that said they would take a self-guided tour. What are the reasons you take a self-guided tour? The number one reason wasn't to practice social distancing. It wasn't concerns about masks or physical spacing or handshakes or elbow bumps or whatever the case. It was so they could tour at their own pace. If you're an HGTV junkie like me, a lot of times they walk right in and go, nope, this isn't it. Or sometimes they walk in and really love it. They may want to stay in there longer, right? The number two reason was to practice social distancing, but again, not the number one answer. So this is evergreen. This is here to stay. You should be looking into self-guided tour functionality. The number three reason, 43% wanted a tour after hours or on the weekends. And think about it. The majority of your demographic works when you're open, right? The majority of the population has a 9 to 5, 8 to 6, some sort of schedule in there. So if you're offering self-guided tours, you can tour more apartments to more prospects on a time frame that works for them. And if conversion rates are the same or better, it's a win-win all around. Okay, so let's take a peek at a property that's doing self-guided tours, just so I can show you how properties are really leveraging this and promoting this. Well, as soon as I land on the homepage, the property's telling me, hey, we're offering self-guided tours. Click here to see how it works. I want to go ahead and schedule one. So let's see how it works. This property actually created an infographic just to quickly walk somebody through a really easy, consumable how self-guided tours works. If I come back to the site and I say, yeah, you know what, let's go ahead and schedule one. You know, I want to see what that self-guided tour is all about. They also loaded a video. So a video just quickly walking the consumer through what a self-guided tour is, how it's going to work, educating, informing them of the process. But look on the calendar, I can do both options. I can do a guided or a self-guided tour. So one calendar, multiple options, you're giving the consumer the power of choice. I want to come out and do a self-guided tour. I want to see a 2-bedroom. And now again here, I'm picking days, I'm picking times to come out and do my tour. All self-service, all online. Okay, so let's move on in that renter journey. Let's now talk about customer relationship management, of quality customer experience, engaging those customers, maximizing your marketing ROI. And remember, prospects aren't your only customers. Applicants are customers too. Residents are customers too. But once that lead comes in, once you've had that quality search strategy that led them to your website, had those engaging tools on the website, whether it was the tour scheduling, the texting, you know, whatever the case, let's talk about that customer nurturing. How do we do that? Now, I want you to think about the key customer events in that life cycle, right? So picture the apartment shopper's journey again and the key events in that journey. So there's, of course, the lead. Well, where did the lead come from? What marketing source? What channel? Was it a text? Was it a chat? Was it an email? Was it a phone call? How and when do we follow up? What's automated? How do we make sure that lead gets handled properly? Do we have all those types of communication channels we saw earlier, texting, chatting, and so on? Well, ultimately, we want that lead to turn into a tour. So if they didn't self-schedule their tour already, how do we try to get them to that tour stage? And then when they complete their tour, how and when do we follow up? Are we able to differentiate different tour types, guided versus self-guided versus virtual? What's the follow-up schedule like based on that different tour type that a different customer may have taken from another prospective resident? What about the application process? What do we do when an app is approved, when an app is denied, when an app is submitted? How are we managing that process? What happens if somebody bails halfway through their online application? Are you able to do some shopping cart abandonment recapture to get that person back into that online and that application process? What about when the application gets approved? Do we simply send an automated email telling them it's been approved, or do we maybe send a personal, make a personal phone call or something, right? Of course, that person's going to ultimately move in. Well, what do we do before and after the move-in to ensure we not only have a new resident, but we have a happy new resident? Did we check and make sure the keys work? Did we walk the unit? Did we put a move-in basket in there? Did we send them their new address ahead of time? Did we send them the move-in checklist maybe related to, you know, tips and tricks, packing, where to get boxes? Again, are we adding value at all these key events to that customer? Well, once they move in, at some point, they're going to have a service request. How can you turn that negative into a positive by handling it quickly and handling it correctly? When and how do you follow up after a work order got done to make sure you met the customer's expectation? And again, hopefully turn that negative of, hey, I need something fixed, something's wrong, into a positive. Ultimately, that lease is going to expire. How and when do you start working the renewal? What do your follow-up schedules look like? Phone calls, emails, text messages. Ultimately, you, of course, hope that person renews. So what do you do when somebody actually agrees to stay with you for another 10, 12, 14 months, pay you more money probably for the exact same apartment? Do you send them an e-card, electronic gift card? Do you send them a jib-jab card with the staff's, head on dancing elves or whatever the case? Because guess what? If you don't manage that 5, 6, 7, and 8 really well, then it all starts over. You need new leads. If that person moves out, you got to spend more marketing dollars. You got to do more customer acquisition, more lead acquisitions to try to fill that now vacant apartment. So be thinking about the entire life cycle, the prospect experience, the applicant experience, the resident experience. What does that need to look like to ensure it's as smooth as possible, and that you're really adding value. So let's talk now about marketing automation. Many people think automation is bad, that it's cold. The way to think about it, when you get a reminder email or text about an upcoming flight, a hotel reservation, a hair appointment, a dentist appointment, do you get upset? Does it bother you? Or do you find it helpful and informative? What about when you get a follow-up from a hotel that asks, hey, how was your stay? Or from an airline that asks, how was your flight? Of course it doesn't bother you, right? None of this stuff bothers you. It kind of sounds silly, actually, when you say it out loud. Businesses create customer journeys with event-based follow-ups and then send time-specific and automated messages based on those key events. They build out this customer journey and decide when and how that customer gets contacted. Our business should be no different. Automation minimizes head-down data entry by your team members and puts them to highest and best use. Automation means that communication is on time and the communication is on message or on brand. You can't ensure both of these things without automation. Don't use hope as a strategy by requiring manual effort and reminding folks to do things. Don't be afraid to leverage automation. Automation is your friend. Okay, so moving on from CRM, let's talk about the next stage. Let's talk about that resident experience. So we've talked about having a good online experience on your website. We talked about having a quality customer relationship management strategy and follow-ups. But what is that resident experience like when they move into your property, when they're actually a paying customer? So again, we know what renters want. I'm going to reference the survey one more time, maybe 2 or 3 more times, but here we go again. The NMHC Renter Preference Survey. How would you prefer to perform the following resident portal actions? There were 17 different actions spelled out. Overwhelmingly, all 17, 100% of them said a mobile app. Not a website, not a mobile-friendly website. We all live in the palm of our hands, right? We all know that on a phone, that app experience is notably better than if you're on a website. So give the residents what they want. We know what they want. So let's see what something like that may look like. So logging into a resident app here, leveraging Face ID, Touch ID, of course, to get in. Seeing some announcements. Hey, review our property. Hey, we have a rent deferral plan. Of course, seeing balance, being able to make a payment. Not just being able to make a payment natively in here, but you'll see in a second, why not leverage digital wallets, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay. Don't make me add my credit card. My phone already knows my credit card information. Of course, things like work orders. So we talked about this earlier, but something's going to go wrong in the apartment. They're going to need something. Why not make it quick and easy to submit that work order? Add a photo, add a voice memo. What if I wanted to look at events, right? What's going on at the property? What's upcoming? But the bulletin board, does anybody have something for sale? What if I want to post something for sale? What if I'm looking for a dog walker, a running partner, just looking for some feedback on something from the community? What about smart home tech? All in the same app. So the same app where I pay my rent, put in a work order. Don't give them that app fatigue of logging into multiple apps. Create that quality customer experience, leveraging that high tech, putting it all in one app. There's my PIN code. I can lock my door remotely. I can add key holders. Control the thermostat. Do all that right here from one spot. Sign any documents, maybe a renewal, right? A renewal time, put that renewal right here in the mobile app. Let them sign that renewal. If you're doing any rent deferment, sign your rent deferral agreement right from here. Pet addendums, right? Whatever the case. So some more innovative ways you can leverage that high tech to give them that high touch in an app. Why not a move-in inspection form? Put that right in the app as well. We see this with cable providers, right? Hey, your technician is on the way. So why not leverage technology that allows your maintenance technician, your maintenance team members, pick up a work order and say, hey, resident, I'm going to be there in 15 minutes. Send a push notification right to the phone. There's me and my lovely bride right there. Everybody say, aw, right, aren't we cute? Waterfall behind us there. but leveraging this technology to provide that quality customer experience, that quality resident experience, to make them want to continue to do business with you by making it easy to do business with you. Okay, so we've talked about in our business a long time and had initiatives of paperless, right? Whether it's applications, paperless electronic leases, paperless payments. But in today's world, not just a paperless process, but really a 100% interconnected workflow that's also contactless or touchless. We hear this a lot in TV commercials and radio ads, right? This touchless, contactless concept. So why would that not apply to our business too? Why would our customers not want that same experience? So we talked about self-guided tours a bit earlier. Of course, the self-guided tour is contactless or touchless. There's not that in-person agent interaction. There's no handshake. There's no meet and greet. There's no, here's a key. You leverage smart home technology, smart lock technology to give them a PIN code to that apartment door. Then, of course, you hope that person ends up applying online. And, you know, that we've had in our space for a long time, right? So that online application, that online lease being paperless, being touchless. Well, what happens when they actually move in? So with full-on smart home technology that, again, is available in our space today, when you hit the move-in button, it doesn't matter if that new resident's across the table from you, across town, or across country. You hit that move-in button, deliver them the PIN code. Just like you can deliver a PIN code to a self-guided tour prospect, you can deliver a PIN code that's really the keys, you surrendering possession of that apartment home to the new resident. Doesn't matter if they're running late from work. You don't have to do anything sketchy where you leave keys under a rock or something. They simply get the PIN code when you've processed their move-in, and that's how they get into their apartment. And then you can tell that resident, hey, go ahead and download our app, and that app is where you're going to do your move-in inspection. So we're paperless, we're green here, like you saw with the online application and lease signing process. Your move-in inspection form is going to be done the same way. So through our app, you're going to, pass, fail, do whatever star rating, upload any photos or comments, that move-in inspection form to complete it. And then you're going to sign it right there from the app rather. And that same app that you did the move-in inspection form on is now where you're going to control that lock that you got the PIN code to, issue PIN codes to friends and family members, turn your thermostat up or down and set those different settings. It's also, of course, where you're going to pay your rent and put in a work order, where you're going to see that bulletin board and upcoming events that we talked about earlier. Put everything all there in one app, again, making it very easy to do business with you, creating that real quality customer experience. And then hopefully, 10 months, 12 months from now, when that renewal's up, sign that renewal right there on our app. Don't have to go to our website. Surely don't have to come in our office and sign a paper lease. So again, 100% paperless, that entire customer lifecycle, also touchless and contactless. Also leveraging things like an Alexa, right? So this was interesting. 1/3 of residents already have a voice-active device in their apartment per that same NMHC renter preference survey. So why not leverage that zero UI, that zero user interface to have your residents submit work orders, make a payment, check office hours, check their balance. That's all available today, and that all adds value to your resident experience. Right? If I'm doing dishes or something and need to submit a work order, I want to check my balance, I don't got to pick up my phone, I don't have to log into my computer. I can just leverage my Echo and ask Alexa what my balance is. So really finishing up here, talking again about that renter journey, make sure you're thinking this all the way through. Make sure not just quality search strategies, but okay, you land them on your website. What's that experience like? Okay, you got the lead. What's that experience like? Now, how are you maximizing those leads you're getting? Really getting the most juice for your squeeze on your marketing spend. Okay, you've earned their business. Now they're a resident. Now what? How do you ensure that's a quality resident experience? They're going to be a happy, referenceable resident that'll write you quality reviews, refer their friends, and want to stay with you when their renewal's up. Well, again, the idea is too, anywhere along there could be an opportunity that's missed, whether it's a leasing opportunity or a resident service opportunity. So how do we not miss out on those? The apartment resident preference survey that, again, I'll keep talking about, ask during your next apartment search, would you use a leasing chatbot on a community website? 48% said yes. So nearly half said, yeah, I'd use one of those chatbot thingies. But why stop at chatbot? Why not leverage technology not just to read and respond to chats, but text messages, emails, app messages like Twitter, phone calls? Don't just have a chat bot, try to have an everything bot or an all bot to make sure all those customer interactions are getting picked up. And think about all those interactions that come in. You have phone calls, of course. You have emails coming in. You have web forms getting filled out online. You have text messages coming in. You have social mentions. You have chats happening. You have online reviews being written. It's a high volume of activity. What can you do to ensure as little of those as possible fall through the cracks? Well, let's go take a peek at what a good bot might look like. Okay, so here we can see we're on the website and we have this welcome message here. Hi, my name is Roxy. All right, Roxy, you can tell me about pricing and availability. Okay. How many bedrooms? I want 3. So I don't even have to navigate to the floor plans page. Right from the home page, I can engage with this bot. When do I want to move in? Early November. And I say NOV instead of November. Here's what I found for a move-in of November 11th. It's giving me floor plan name, bed, bath count, square footage, availability, image of the floor plan, starting rent, but also show me the best value rent there. Maybe I want to ask it, do your agents wear masks? So I'm going to free form ask it a question here. For the safety and well-being of our team members and our customers, we require all parties to wear facial coverings. Great. Is your gym open? Our amenities are open and we're following the state-issued guidelines for occupancy and physical spacing. Is water included maybe? No, the resident is responsible to set up and pay for water, okay? Show me pictures. So a good bot can really help that consumer qualify themselves, get them the information they need, not require them to hunt around on your website to find it. You can see it's going to kind of pull me along here too. Do you allow large dogs? There's the pet policy. Now I talked about not just a chat bot. What if you could actually move this chat to SMS? If you could say, you know what? I got to shut down my computer. I have to leave. You know, I got to get in the car, whatever the case, but I don't want to end this conversation right here. So a good bot can respond not just to chats, but also text messages, handle phone calls. Let's see what that might look like. Okay, so here it is. This conversation has been transferred from web chat to SMS. LOL, this is cool. Maybe the bot's got jokes. Note to self, plan night at Bot Comedy Club. Funny haha. Do you have charging stations? We sure do. Bots can understand emojis. I think I'm ready to schedule a tour. Maybe I tell it next. I've collected all the information I need. I got floor plan availability information. I learned about their mask policy, all that stuff, right? Pet policy. The bot can help me schedule a tour, whether it's guided or self-guided. So again, self-service, immediate responses, right? Think about what your consumer wants. Maybe I don't want to have to call and have any back and forth. I want to do this all on my own time. This is the bot scheduling my tour for me. Easy, right? Make it easy for people to do business with you. Leverage that high tech, be high touch at the same time. All right, we're going to move on from this bot here. So the NMHC renter preference survey, maybe this is the last time, who knows? Let me turn my camera back on. I forgot to do that. There we go. So we asked, during your next apartment search, would you use a send a text message to management feature on a community website? 71% said yes. So we saw the data on the chatbot, 48%, nearly half, text message, 71%. And I want you to think about your own experience, right? When you send a text message, when you send in a chat, the expectation is an immediate response, right? It's not, oh, they're going to get back to me in a couple hours or 24 hours. It's I want an answer now. These modern communication channels, these high converting communication channels, expect an immediate response. So you really need to have a bot or some sort of call center or your own people right there on standby to respond to those. Okay, so just remember to be thinking about this entire customer journey, how these different steps in the journey relate to each other, eliminate any breaks or awkward experiences for your customers, as well as blind spots in the data and tracking for your organization. So be thinking start to finish. Quality search strategy is great. When they land on the website, what's that experience like? Are we converting as many of those visitors into leads as we can? Okay, we got the lead. Now what? How do we maximize that lead? Have a few of them fall through the cracks as possible. Leverage that AI technology. What's it like once we've actually earned somebody's business? Do we make it easy for them to live with us, do business with us, engage with us? All right, folks. Well, I want to thank you for your time. Appreciate you joining the session today. Remember, it's not high tech or high touch. It's high tech and high touch. You need to be both. Your consumers expect both. And today, with the technology available, you can do both. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Take care. Be safe. Be kind.
All right, everyone. I don't believe we had any questions that I can answer for you at this time. But please be sure to send us an email into our sales@yardi.com if you did have any questions or would like any further discussions.
Hey, I just wanted to pop in and say that was amazing information. I just want to thank Paul and Olia and Sheila and everybody that worked behind the scenes to put this together. As you can imagine, everyone's so busy, but Paul just did a great job preparing and recording that content so that we could have that, even though it didn't work out for him to be here in person, but I felt like he was right here. Sheila, one question I have for you, unless anything else comes in, is this content tied in so great to a session we had right before where we were talking about some companies walking away from social media. They're walking away and leaving Facebook's marketing dollars on the table, but they're able to do that because they're able to provide alternatives for connection for their residents and for the associates. So I just want to ask, like, are you guys seeing that? I mean, are you seeing more companies maybe leaning away from the traditional social media platforms, but still providing a way for the residents to connect? I noticed that marketplace on that one thing where residents can sell things to each other, connect with each other, share what needs they have. I mean, that's incredible, and very much, builds community. So are you seeing a move in that direction?
We are actually. It does seem that, social is, I don't know, it's important, but sometimes it's overplayed and becomes more challenging to deal with it all, on a daily basis. And so, yeah, we want to make sure that we're giving all of our customers all of the tools and different ways that they can communicate, and that's really what we're really focused on at Yardi, and our Rent Cafe platform is really giving you many options to accomplish what you're trying to do with your entire customer base now today.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we thank you again. I want to remind you guys that Yardi is one of the companies that is in our marketplace this week. They are there to chat with you. If there's anything that you saw today that you're like, whoa, I need to know more about that, they are definitely the experts. I would go over to Marketplace, check them out, submit a contact form so that they can reach out to you. This presentation will be loaded as a recording in the additional resources section of this course and available to all the paid attendees for App Connect. So if you or somebody you know is maybe in the other session right now and didn't make it to this one, please have them go check this out. We hope to see you at our wrap-up session here in about 15 minutes. We're going to be wrapping up the day with a closing session. It'll be in meeting format so we can actually see all of you, interact with everybody. Heather Bloom will be talking with us about staying sane in 2020, the mental health impacts of COVID on property management professionals and how we're going to endure. We're going to be doing some breakout rooms and giving away some prizes and just enjoying each other's company to wrap up the day. So we hope you'll join us for the wrap-up session. Go visit our friends at Yardi in the marketplace. Also our friends at Parking Boss and Amenity Boss. Thank you again to them for supporting today's session. we hope you guys enjoyed it, and we hope to see you at the closing session this afternoon and at our sessions tomorrow for the final day of App Connect. Sheila, Olia, Paul, thank you so much, you guys. Have a wonderful day.